Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on restoring this library card drawer catalogue that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace that I intend on using for storing vegetable seeds. When I collected it, it looked like it had an oil on it, but it wasn't covering the timber surface correctly right across it, so I knew that I'd have to take it back to bare timber. But I started off with removing these handles. They had small screws in them, but I decided that I needed to use a chisel to get them out as I couldn't get a screwdriver to work on it. So that's what I did and started off. I actually bent the handles a little bit, but I made a start at it. After removing the handles, I used methylated spirits and steel wool to loosen up the varnish underneath the handles, which worked quite well. I'd read online that to get rid of the oil stains on the side of the timber, I could use oxalic acid mixed with water. I tried this, but I found in the end it just oversaturated the timber and required multiple days of drying in the sun to get the timber dry again. After that, when I used the sanding disc on it, it just seemed to clog up the sanding disc completely. And in hindsight, I think I would have skipped the oxalic acid and just used a coarse grit sandpaper to get back to bare timber. As you can see, the oxalic acid mixed with water seemed to bring lots of dirt out of the timber, including the oil. But as I said, afterwards, even after multiple days of drying, it still mucked up the sanding discs. And in hindsight, I would have liked to see what it looked like by just sanding it without using the oxalic acid. After sitting the drawers outside for 2 or 3 days in the sun, it seemed to dry the timber out effectively, but still showed the oil stains on the side that I thought would require further sanding later. But before that, I had to get the workshop back organised and cleaned up because I can't ever work in the space I have without it all tidy.
G'day everyone. What I tried originally a little while back is I bought some oxalic acid to try to get rid of these ugly oil stains that are out within inside the timber. That was okay in getting the timber back, but it still doesn't have a great finish on it. So what I'm going to do now is going to sand it back a lot, see what we can get, see if we can get a more consistent finish on it, and then we'll go back over it with a new oil and coating. Might use some oil and some wax. So we'll set the time lapse up and see how we go. of coats of antique wax. Now I'm just going to give it a polish and see how it comes up. I'll put the handles back on and we'll see how they're going. So I've got one of these lamb's wools buffing pads. As with everything with Festool, it's crazy expensive, and the first time I used it, I don't know if I used it properly or not, but it got a heap of wax on it, which I guess it's what it's meant to do. But yeah, I've just gone along with what I think works. It may not be right, maybe. Let me know if you agree or disagree how I've used it, but we'll see how it goes now that it's had a bit of a polish. I'll try to give you a good view. Take this out of the geared mode. Turn it down a bit. Coming up nicely. In the post I've had arrived an ultrasonic cleaner that I've had on my wish list for a couple of years now, and I finally decided to pull the trigger on ordering one. This one's from a brand called Viva. It's been relatively inexpensive, but my hope to use it for is basically small parts cleaning and also for maintenance of tools. So things like drill bits and stuff that gather a lot of rust, you can get these back to bare metal and keep them in good condition. But the first project I'm going to have a go at using it for is some library card drawer handles that I've got a tarnish on them. How the ultrasonic cleaner works, but it basically uses sound waves and a vibration to clean parts. So it works in lots of different industries, but from what I've seen online, the results of what they do is just amazing. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. Okay, I've got some oxalic acid that I use to actually get the varnish off the timber. This is a bit of an experiment. I'm not sure if this is going to work with degreasing these. Really. See if they fit in there first. They do, which is good. Probably don't need that much, but okay, there it is. So we'll save the liquid now. It's already a little bit dirty, just the nature of the jar. Pop it in. Let's get going. I'll actually put it in the basket. Degrees. It's got a lot of sediment in there. Look at the tarnish on the water there. they're looking pretty good. What I'll do with these now is give them a good dry, good wipe down, and I'll put a clear coat of varnish on them. There is some nails in there, see if we can find those. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I've just got a handful of seeds. See how they're going to work. Well, I probably need a few more of these dividers. How are they made? Probably be painful to make, so I'll probably just do something like that. Let's keep it simple. Only for keeping seeds in. I think as time goes on, I'll label them. Could probably keep bulbs and stuff in here as well. There's a lot of room. But for now, that will do.